Good morning and welcome to Backyard and Beyond. This morning we're visiting with Shauna Forsberg, who's over at the Durham Western Heritage Museum. Good morning to you, Shauna.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great, and I know you're great because you got so much stuff going on that we may have to talk to you again later. But first of all, we want to talk about the newest one that's just going to open in a few days called Dig It.
Yes, we're so excited. This is an exhibition that was created by the Smithsonian Institution, and it's a real science-based exhibition for us, so we're excited to be kind of venturing into that realm as well. But it really explores all the secrets of soil in a hands-on interactive exhibit for families.
Okay, so kids are going to find this interesting.
Mm-hmm. And so are adults.
Yes.
We love that type of exhibit that, there's enough detail and facts that adults will walk away learning something, but that kids also really enjoyed their time there. And this exhibit definitely fills that space.
Yeah, you kind of got to keep the kids busy while the adults are reading more, so that's great. And I know you work more. Museums are great at doing that anymore. It's not just a look kind of thing. Shauna, most of us think of dirt as something we drag in on the carpet that we have to clean up, or it's on our cars that we wash off. But soil is so basic.
It's very important to so many things, whether it be, preservation of food sources for people, or, obviously the environment and making sure that that we sustain, a healthy soil, I guess I should say. And I think, it's something that all of us are very familiar with, but it's not something that we know terribly much about. And actually the exhibit creators actually said that when they researched, they realized we actually know more about the moon than we do about the soil beneath our feet. And so there's still a lot of research yet to be done.
Isn't that interesting? It just reminds me, Sean, and it has nothing to do with your exhibit other than it has about soil. We had an intern here whose specialty was soil, and she said, I just love to go out and lay on the ground where the soil is great. It was just, one of those things that most of us would not do because we don't understand and appreciate the soil that we have around us.
Well, and I think that's why for this exhibit, we've really tried to bring in a lot of special events in different ways that soil affects all of us. We, for example, have a woman named Sheila O'Reilly, and she goes by the Ugly Gardener.
Yes.
And she's going to come in and do a really fun presentation about no-till technology and taking that farming technology and applying it to traditional gardening practices.
And when's that going to be?
That one is on Tuesday, October 12th, and museum members, it's free for them, and a museum admission applies for non-members, but it's a fun time to come because you can check out the exhibit, but then also go to this neat presentation. Mm-hmm. And that is Tuesday evening.
I didn't ask you, when is this exhibiting open?
It opens this Saturday, October 2nd, and it'll be open through December 26th.
Okay, so we got a little while to see it, but fall, it seems to me this will be a great time to get out there and see it, just a great time to be out. And you have some other things, special things planned to go along with the Dig It
Yeah,
show.
The first thing really starts this Sunday. We're lucky to have an antique tractor show on Sunday, and I think that's going to be a lot of fun. We've partnered with the Elkhorn Valley Antique Power Association, and they're bringing in over 30 tractors, and they're going to show how they functioned and work, but also, just be able to see the beauty of them. They're also bringing in the Plain Label String Band, which plays more old-fashioned tunes, and so it'll be a fun environment to be in. And then the Omaha Quilters Guild is bringing in several of their quilts and doing some demonstrations that way. Plus, there's just all kinds of kid activities and docent-led tours through some of the things that you wouldn't normally see at the museum, like our run room, schoolhouse, and our log cabin rooms that we have. So I think it'll be a really fun day for people to come down and check everything out.
Okay, and that's on Sunday?
That's on Sunday from 1 until 5.
Okay, and you get in on really close to the opening date here, so that would be fun. But remember, folks, if you don't get to come now, you've got till December to see this exhibit. So any other specials that you're having with the Dig It that we need to mention?
Well, we've got a couple other things. One, on Saturday, October 23rd, we have a Let's Get Dirty Day, and that's more about what's going on currently with soil. So we have big John Deere equipment that's going to be here. Kids can climb on it and take a look at it. The first 500 visitors are going to receive a free tree sapling, compliments of the Arbor Day Foundation. We have a cool exhibit called the Fantastic Fun River Run, which talks about water conservation and what it does to the soil. and then all kinds of interactive activities. Like we had docents trained by the folks from the Smithsonian to do science carts. So there's going to be real hands-on learning experiences that day, too.
Okay. Now, mentioning the Smithsonian, as I understand, the Smithsonian in Omaha is the only place you can see this exhibit.
Yes, it was created by the Smithsonian and their National Museum of Natural History. And we were very fortunate to work directly with them to make arrangements for it to come here for this 3-month run. And it's really the only location so far out of Washington, D.C. that's had the exhibit. So we feel very fortunate. Obviously fits really well for us with our deep agricultural roots here.
Absolutely. And it just says once more how many things that we can take advantage of here in the Midwest and right here close to Omaha. I want to talk about some of your other exhibits, but we need to remind people how to find you.
Oh, yes. You know, we're located in downtown Omaha, just south of the Old Market. We're in the former Union Station, which was Union Pacific's passenger station. So we're just at 801 South 10th Street, pretty easy to get to from either direction.
Yes.
And we're fortunate to have free parking for our visitors as well. So once you get here, you can just pull in and come right on in.
All right, very good. And once you get close, you can't hardly miss it. It's a big, grand building. So
yeah, it's quite iconic of Omaha,
yes.
and it's actually, we really consider the building to be our greatest artifact. It's quite beautiful in itself. So.
Yes, it is. And, you know, I know there are people in the area who would have memories to talk about their connections to the station of either, seeing their soldier family go off or come back, or, just other family trips and so on. So those would be fun to talk about, too. But let's talk about some of the other exhibits. You have a couple going on. Well, you always have exciting things, Shauna. But let's talk about the football one since we're in that season.
You know, we just recently opened 100 Yards of Glory, and it's a really cool exhibit. We go back and have artifacts from the late 1800s and really explore Omaha's football history, which a lot of people may know about Iowa's football history or Nebraska's football history, not necessarily from Omaha itself. And we actually had 3 Heisman Trophy winners that went to high school here. We have a really long and really beautiful history about football played right here in Omaha. And so it was fun to kind of bring a different perspective on the game to our visitors, and we've had great response to it so far.
And then another kind of local one is related to Ak-Sar-Ben.
Ak-Sar-Ben, has been a deep tradition in this community for a long time, and we have crowning achievements that just opened this past Saturday. And it really explores the coronation ball itself and the scholarship ball. And we are fortunate to have beautiful dresses on display from across the eras, representing different time frames. We even have a quite old page costume from the early 1900s. And so people can really see the kind of the pomp and circumstance that goes along with that beautiful event and tradition, and people are really having a great time with it.
Yeah, and whether you know anybody who's ever been related to that or not, again, the beautiful dresses, the pageantry, and all of that, I think, will be of interest to people because it's a very local event. So, other things that you want to mention, Shauna, before we...
Well, being housed in Union Station, we are excited to be coming up on our 80th anniversary. The building was opened in 1931. So actually on January 15th, 2011, our building will be 80 years old. And as part of that, we've been having a lot of fun. We actually have added lots of improvements to our model rail that we have. So there's a lot more of interactivity. Kids can come in and actually start the trains and have different things that they can start and turn off and whatnot. And, obviously trains are something that so many people, regardless of your age, enjoy. We're just having a ton of fun with that.
Yes.
And then we also opened up an exhibit called Omaha's Gateway, 80 Years of Union Station. So it kind of shows you where this building came from and what's all gone in it over its 80-year history.
Great things right now, great things coming up. You always have fantastic exhibits coming up, and so we need to take advantage of that, Shauna. And what are your hours?
We are open Tuesday through Sunday. The only day we're closed is on Mondays, and then actually during the holidays, starting right after Thanksgiving, we're open on Mondays. So Tuesdays we're open from 10 to 8. Wednesdays through Saturday, we're open from 10 to 5, and then Sundays we're open from 1 to 5.
All right, so take a trip over to the Durham Museum, the old Union Station, and see what all's going on. We want to thank you very much, Shauna Forsberg, for visiting with us today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Until next time, how many of these do you remember? Headlights, dimmer switches on the floor, real ice boxes, soldering irons you heat on a gas burner.